Hello. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is an internet issue. Suddenly the internet goes off. Okay. Just wait. I will start the recording. Already recorded started. Okay. So once again, welcome you all for this AIC lecture. Sorry, welcome you all for this NTA lecture number 3. So here we need to discuss the following points. So before starting the actual syllabus, we have to focus on the following points or following prerequisites. So we can start from what is the current, then we can discuss the working of resistor, types of resistor, then capacitor. We can discuss the capacitor and inductor along with how it will get formed, what will be the behavior for the DC, for the AC. Then if number of capacitors are connected in series and parallel, how to find out the equivalent capacitance. If the number of inductors are connected in series and parallel, how to find out the equivalent capacitor. What is the role of capacitor and inductor in the circuit. So what are the types. So all these points we can discuss. Then the basic law, that is the Ohm's law, we can discuss. And after that, how the components are connected, whether they are connected in series or whether they are connected in parallel. So all these points we have to cover, because before analyzing the circuit, before starting the circuit to solve by particular theorem, by particular analysis method, we have to observe the circuit carefully. And in that, how many components are there, how many sources are there, what are the types of sources, what are the types of elements, how the elements are connected, whether they are connected in series, whether they are connected in parallel or combination of both. So we have to identify and we have to ensure all about this. So these all things we have to understand and we have to discuss in this lecture. So we can start from the first point. What is the current? So current is the rate of flow of electrical charge, and we can consider I is equal to, if you are writing in the mathematical expression, I is nothing but current, which is in ampere. So that will give the Q by T. So Q is what? The magnitude of electrical charge, and with respect to time, we are measuring the rate. Okay, so that will give the current. So current unit is the ampere. Next one, there are the two types of current, AC current, DC current. So DC current means what? The current due to DC sources. The DC sources may be voltage source, the DC source may be current source, the DC source may be the battery or cell. So due to those sources, whatever the current we are getting, that is called as what? Direct current. Now direct current, how, why it is called as direct current? Because suppose you are taking on x-axis the time t, this will start from 0 to infinity, and on y-axis suppose you are taking the current. So current I will take on y-axis. So suppose this is the I of t with respect to t. So as you are increasing the time from 0 to infinity, the amplitude of the current value will remains constant. So that type of current is called as what? Direct current. So this is the example of direct current. That is the cell is shown here, having the polarity plus minus. This cell we can use in number of circuit. We are generally in the home appliances, we are using in the remote television remote or any CD player remote, AC remote, air conditioning. So whatever the remotes are there, in that we are going to use the cells. In the watches, wall watches, we are using the gadgets, electronic gadgets, we are using the cells. So cells are the best examples which will give the direct current. In the practical also, we are using the different current sources. We can call it as power supply. From power supply, we can use the voltage source as well as current source. Now next one, the alternating current. Alternating current means what? The amplitude of that current is continuously going on, increasing and decreasing or changing, we can say, with respect to time t. So on x-axis, the time t is there. If you are starting from 0, see, Here the amplitude is continuously changing. Okay, continuously the amplitude is changing. Here it will come 0. Here it is 0. Here it is in the negative cycle, the negative amplitude is there. In the positive cycle, the positive amplitude is there. Means as the time you are increasing from 0 to infinity, the amplitude of that current signal is continuously going on changing. Here the frequency is same. If we are observing this waveform, then we can say that the phase is 0 degree. Phase is 0 degree because it is starting from 0. Okay. Next, the amplitude is continuously going on changing. The maximum amplitude we can say that is the V of t here. With respect to current, if you are talking, then it is I of t. I max म्हणू शकतो, positive I max, and this is the negative I max. That is the negative value of amplitude of the current signal. Okay, positive I max and negative I max. So amplitude will going on changing with respect to time t. That's why it is called as what? Alternating current. So these are the definitions or types of direct current and alternating current. So one more we can consider the important point. The DC current always flow in a one direction. Means if you are connecting the battery like this, the current always flow from negative to positive, negative terminal to positive. The current direction will be there. If suppose this is the negative and this is the positive, if this is negative and this is positive, then suppose this is negative and this is positive, polarity will change. Then current direction is like this. So in a one time, the current will flow in only one direction with a constant polarity, whereas the alternating current having both values, positive as well as negative, it itself changes the value and it will flows in positive direction as well as negative direction. In both direction, periodically it will flows. Okay. Now this is about the current and its definition, its types. Now next one, the resistor. The resistor we used number of times in the 12th science physics. You learn about the resistor in the first year also engineering. You learn about the BEEE subject. In that, resistor is the basic component of that subject. Now, resistor is a element, we can call it as passive element because it cannot deliver any energy to the other part of the circuit. It always observe, it always ready to take. Okay, it is not giving something to the circuit. It is always limiting the current. It is always taking the energy from other storage elements like charged capacitor, charged inductor, or any power supply. So always the work of resistance is to limit the current and take energy from the other part. So resistance is the property of the material which will oppose the movement of charge or current flow. It always try to limit or oppose the current flow. Okay. So the unit of resistance, always we know that the unit of resistance is ohm. The symbol of ohm is given here. The resistors are component that oppose the current flow. So here in the figure, the first figure, left hand side figure, the resistor R1 and R2 are connected in series. In the right hand side figure, the resistor R1 and R2 are connected in parallel to each other. So already we have discussed if resistors are connected in series, how to find out the equivalent resistance, that is RT is equal to R1 plus R2. If n number of resistors are connected in series, then we are taking the addition of all resistors R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 like this. Similarly for RT, if the number of resistors are connected in parallel, so already I have given the formula for that. If number of resistors are connected in parallel, how to find out the parallel equivalent parallel resistors. So here RT is equal to R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay, so that we have already discussed, but we have not solved some problems. But when we complete the part of equivalent impedance or equivalent resistance, that time we can solve the number of numerical examples based on that. So this is the introduction of resistor. But now next, how to find out the value of resistor based on the color coding, or reverse, vice versa. By based on the color coding, how to find out the value, and based on the value, how to guess the color coding. Both we have to exercise. Now that is possible when we have the table of color coding and its values. Okay, so that we can discuss now. Now, the next slide we can take. So here you are observing the table. Here we are observing the table. This table will help a lot to understand the register. Now, some registers are available which is having only 4 bands on that cover. Some registers are available having 5 bands. So the registers having 4 bands is the register having 5 bands are called as 5 band register. So the first 3 colors in the 4th band. So we can discuss first of all 4 band registers. So if you are observing the top one register here, the first 3 colors are placing exactly closer to each other, nearer to each other, whereas the 4th one is somewhat away from these 3. So first color, so how to take the left hand side and right hand side? Left hand side means what? Where the 3 bands are placed or located nearer to each other. Right hand side means what? The 4th band is away from that 3 nodes. So in this way, you can classify the left hand side and right hand side. But in the circuit, there is no any method to connect the register, whether we have to connect from left to right or right to left. Okay, it is the register don't have any polarity. You can connect anyhow. Now here the first color you are observing the green. After that blue will be there, and then yellow will be there. Okay, and at the last the 4th color band is gold one. So here the table is given. On the first column there is a color, and here as you are changing the columns from left to right, first band, second band, third band, and last tolerance, it will give the values. So first of all, you have to remember all these colors in a sequence. So this is a sequence. So how to remember the colors? Anyone knows the idea? How to remember the current? First should be the black, second should be the brown, third one should be the red. Anyone observe the, what we can say, rainbow? Anyone observe the rainbow? आपण मराठीत इंद्रधनुष्य म्हणतो. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everyone knows the rainbow. That is the Indradhanushya in Marathi. So anyone can tell the sequence of color in the rainbow? मराठीत सांगा चालते. The sequence of color present in the rainbow. Anyone knows?
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
So what is this one? Anyone can read?
Tana pihi nipaja.
Yes. So Tana pihi nipaja. So Ta means what? Tamda. Na means narangi. That is the saffron color we can see. Okay. Then yellow पिवळा. Then हिरवा. त्यानंतर निळा. त्यानंतर पारवा. त्यानंतर जांभळा. So this is the sequence of colors present in the rainbow. Similarly, you have to remember these colors in the sequence for remembering the register or for identifying the value of register. Okay. So the sequence you have to follow in this way. That is the BB Roy. BB Roy. First letter you can remember. BB Roy. Great Britain. Very good white. And then gold silver. Okay. So BB Roy, in that we have the main confusion that B having three colors, that is black, brown, and blue. So always starts from black, and the end of the color is white. So the colors are present between black and white. Okay, gold and silver, these are the tolerance. Gold and silver, if you are observing the first band, second band, third band, there is no value. There is no value here. Okay, so gold and silver, you can consider the different colors here. Black, between black and white, there are the colors. So start from black and end at white. After that, gold, silver. So BB Roy, Great Britain, very good wife, gold, silver. Like this, you can remember the sequence. So if you are remembering the sequence, then there will not be any confusion to remember this table. Now the first band will start from 0 and it will end at 9. 0 to 9, and after that for gold and silver, no value. Second band also 0 to 9. Third band, instead of writing 0, 1 like this, you can use this one. Okay, 10 raised to 0 means 1, then 10, then into 100, then into 1k, then into 10k, you have to multiply. So instead of third band, you can use this multiplier. This multiplier you can use as a third band. Fourth band represents the tolerance. Tolerance means what? Due to the change in temperature, the value of material, resistance value of the material will going to change. It may going to decrease, it may going to increase. Okay, so that tolerance is always given in the plus minus. It may decrease, it may increase. Means total resistance value will change by 1%, 2%, 0.5%, 10% due to the change in environment temperature. Okay, so suppose I am using 100 ohm resistor, and tolerance is gold. Tolerance is gold, and the gold is having plus minus 5% tolerance. मग 100च्या 5% म्हणजे किती? 95 and 105. एकतर तो 95 पर्यंत येईल किंवा 105 पर्यंत जाईल. So between 95 to 105, the resistance will be there for the 100 ohm. 100 ohm we are taking as a theoretical, but practically it may be different value, but the maximum value will be 105 and minimum value will be the 95 if the gold color is present on as a fourth band. If silver is present, then plus minus 10% will be there, means 90 ohm to 110 ohm. Okay, so that will be the meaning of tolerance. So any questions from this? Any questions from this table? So similarly, if you are observing the 5 band, so what is the difference between 4 band and 5 band? One band is increasing and 4 bands are closer to each other. 4 bands are closer to each other, and fifth one is the tolerance band, that is away from that 4 bands. Okay, so similarly here first, second, third, fourth. So first 3 is 9, 9, 9 like this, 6, 7, 7, any 3 numbers, and then fourth band is the multiplier and fifth band is the tolerance. Okay, so this is what the color bands. So this is what the tolerance of the this 5 color band. So here we can just take the 2 examples. First of all, I will give the color coding, and based on that you can tell the value. And second one, I will give the value, you can tell me the color coding. So one example I will tell. First of all, I will take this as a demo. So here first green color is there. Green color number is what? First band you have to observe, green color is 5 here. So 5 is there. Okay, here 5 I will write. Next, second color is the blue one. Second color is the blue one. Okay, second color, second band you have to observe where it is blue, 6. So at the 6th number blue is there, that is 56. Next, third color is the yellow. So yellow is there, and in the third band at number 4. So don't write 4 here, 5, 6, 4 not there. So you can use this band multiplier. So yellow color is at number 4 means 10 raised to 4. So 10 raised to 4 means 10k. So 56 into 10k. Okay, so it will give us the what? 560k. 560 kilo ohm. So that is given here. 560 kilo ohm. Okay, so based on the color coding, we can easily write the values. Now, similarly, suppose I will use the color bands. You can tell me the value. I will use the color band. Red, orange, orange, and gold. So here the fourth band is gold. That's why the tolerance is plus minus 5%. Now tell me the color coding. Red, orange, orange, green. Gold. Red, orange, orange, gold. Anyone can tell. The chart is in front of you. The table is in front of you.
(23 into 10⁻³ ohm plus minus 5%.
Okay, 23 into 10⁻³
3.
2. 3 or 2? 3. Okay. So gold is means plus minus 500. So if you're observing 23 into 1K. Okay. So it will give the 23K ohm. Am I correct? 22 into 10⁻³ 10⁻³ means 1K. So 23 kilo ohm. That will be the value of this color band. And the tolerance is plus minus 5%. Okay. Now next one. I will give the value, you can tell the color. Okay, I will give the value, you can tell the color. 470 ohm. This is the value of resistance. You can tell me the 4 colors. This is the 4 color band resistor. Tolerance I will use 10%. Yellow one. First color is what? 4 means what?
Yellow.
Yes, yellow. Next.
Violet.
Yes, very good. Yellow, violet. Next.
Brown.
Brown.
Brown or black?
Brown.
Brown. Okay. So yellow, violet, and brown. Last one, tolerance.
Silver.
That is silver. Okay, silver. So many students having confusion of the third color. So see here, yellow and violet includes what? 47. Okay, but here 470 is there. Means 47 into 10 केल्यानंतर आपल्याला 470 मिळणार. So you have to multiply into 10. So 10 is where? At brown. 10 is where? At the brown. Means 47 into 10 if you are doing, you can get 470. So that's why the brown color will be there, no black. Okay, so yellow, violet, brown, and the tolerance will be the silver. Now one more example we can take, and then we can move towards the capacitor. Hmm. 2.2 kilo ohm. 2.2 kilo ohm.
Red, orange.
Red, very good. Red, orange. Okay, so first of all, 2 means what? Red. Next, this 2 means again red. So 2.2K means what? 2.2K means 2200. बरोबर आहे 2200. So 22 is already there. So into 100 we have to multiply. Am I correct? So 22 already is there. So into 100 if you are multiplying, then and then we can get the 2200. That is 2.2. So 100 is where it is present. 100 is present at the red. So that's why red, not orange. Red, and red. All are the red. Orange म्हणजे किती येणार माहिती का? किती येणार? 22K. If it is 22K, then orange will come. So this is the wrong one. Okay, so 2.2 is there. 2.2 means what? 2200. 2.2K means 2200. So 22 already there. 22 into 100. If you are doing, you can get this one. So this value we can achieve by red, red, red. All are the red colors. Now understood? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Someone is there who not understood anything? Someone is there here in this class? Those who not understood anything regarding this register value, how to find out? How to remember the colors sequence from top to bottom? BB Roy. Great Britain. Very good. Wife. Okay. So wife need what? Gold and silver. बरोबर है कि नहीं? Wife need gold and silver. She want only the gold ornaments, silver ornaments. Okay. So that's in this way you can remember. Okay. So I will assume that everyone understood this color coding and all those. Now next one, the capacitor. So capacitor is the again passive element, but when the charged capacitor we can use, that can be used to give the energy. Okay, but uncharged capacitor plays like passive element. It always takes the energy. Once it will charge, it will act as a source. It will deliver the energy. So capacitance can be defined as the property of the material to oppose any change in voltage. So capacitor is the defined as the property of the material to oppose any change in voltage. So it needs what? Constant voltage. If the constant voltage will be there across the capacitor, it will charge smoothly. If the voltage across the capacitor will changes, first of all, it will try to oppose it. And once the voltage will becomes constant, then it will try to charge itself. So it is the property of the material which will measure the opposition of the opposite to the change in voltage across the material. So capacitor is measured in terms of farad. The unit is farad, that is denoted by F. So most of the capacitors are millifarad, microfarad, nanofarad, picofarad. Okay. So value of capacitor is nearly small. So how the capacitor will form? Capacitor kasa form karu shakto? How it will get construct? So capacitance occurs when two different conducting materials are separated by insulator. Insulator is the dielectric medium. So it will form what? Capacitor. When two conducting different materials separated by different materials, they separated by different insulating materials or dielectric material or vacuum, then it will form the capacitor. So in a parallel plate capacitor, two conducting plates are separated by insulator known as dielectric material. It's shown in this figure. So here it is one plate, here it is the second plate. So for positive plate having the positive charges, plus shown in the left hand side. For negative plate here, the negative charges are available. But when we are connecting a voltage source VC across the capacitor, the current will start to flow in this direction according to the polarity of this. So due to this current, the capacitor will try to charge itself. So the symbol of the capacitor is like this. Okay. If this is for what we can say, ceramic or like this, but for electrolyte we can use like this symbol also. This is the positive plate, the circular semicircular is negative plate. This is a electrolyte capacitor, and this is the ceramic mica, the capacitor which don't have any polarity. That symbol is present by this one, and the electrolyte capacitor is represented by this symbol. So this is what the definition of capacitance, unit of capacitance, then how it will get formed. Next, how it will behave. in the circuit, the capacitor has the ability to block the DC signal and pass the AC signal. So this concept we can understand morely in the unit number 4. Okay, so just remember now, the capacitor has the ability to block the DC signal and it will passes the AC signal. So these two concepts plays a very important role to understand the transient and steady state analysis, and that part we are learning in the unit number 4. Now this next point is also we are going to understand in detail in the unit number 4, that is the under steady state analysis or condition, the capacitor acts like open circuit for the DC, and for AC signal it will act as a selective device, frequency selective device, or it will passes the AC signal, but for DC signal it will act as an open circuit. Now in the below figure shows, if two capacitors are connected in series, what will be the how to find out the equivalent capacitance. If two capacitors are connected in parallel, how to find out the equivalent capacitor. That is, if you are observing the diagram as well as equations, it is exactly opposite to that of resistor. Exactly opposite to that of resistor. So here two capacitors are connected in series. Okay, the two capacitors are connected, C1 and C2 are connected in series. But if you are finding out the CT, that is total equivalent capacitance, then you have to take like this, C1 into C2 divided by C1 plus C2. Exactly opposite to resistance. Okay. Now, if the two capacitors C1 and C2 are connected in parallel here, then you have to take the addition. That is the CT is equal to C1 plus C2. Means if suppose one more capacitor is connected in parallel, that will be the C3. Then there will be the one more addition, that is the plus C3. So if capacitors are connected in parallel, we have to find out the addition of all capacitors which are connected in parallel to each other. But when it is connected in series, we have to find out like this, C1 plus or C1 parallel, C1 connected C2 in series, but while finding, we have to take like the parallel combination, that is C1 into C2 divided by C1 plus C2. Okay. Now this is about the capacitor. Now next, types of capacitor. So this is the film type capacitor. Film type capacitors. So it is having the two legs we can say. One is the longer, one is the shorter. So longer one you can consider as a positive. This is the negative. So next, the second one is the ceramic capacitor. The ceramic capacitors having very low values. Most of the times it is in picofarad, nanofarad. Okay. So very low values of capacitor. It is the legs are same length. It don't have any polarity, plus minus. You can connect from left to right or right to left, anyhow you can connect. It don't have any polarity. Now next one, electrolyte capacitor. This is the most commonly used capacitor. This one, electrolyte. The longer length is the positive terminal. The shorter one is the negative terminal. So it is these electrolyte capacitors having the positive and negative plate. The positive plate means what? There is some different color will be used at that point, at that below point. There will be the leg, longer leg will be there, and that considered as a positive. The shorter one considered as a negative. Now these electrolyte capacitors are useful for charging. In the most of the power supply design, we are using the electrolyte capacitors. So electrolyte capacitors are mainly available in millifarad, microfarad, or farad. Okay. Sometimes nanofarad, but most of the available is microfarad, millifarad, and farad. Whereas the last one is the variable capacitor here. Variable capacitor is useful for changing the value of capacitance, mainly in the radio receiver, in the resonance series resonance circuit, parallel resonance circuit, in the tank circuit. We need to change the frequency of the tuned circuit. In LC circuit, that is a tank circuit, we need to change either the value of L or either the value of capacitor C. So instead of changing the inductor value, it is easy to change the value of capacitor. So in the heterodyne receiver, in the communication system, we need to use the variable capacitors. So this is about the types of capacitor. Now next one, inductor. So inductor, how it will get formed? What is the definition? What is the unit? So inductance can be defined. It is a property of the material which will oppose any change in current. So don't confuse between resistance and inductance. Resistance always oppose the current value, but inductance will oppose the change in current value. Means it will try to pass the constant current value. Okay. So until and unless the current will not become constant, it will try to oppose. Once the constant current will present at the door of this inductor, then it will try to maintain, it will pass that current. Now, inductance can be defined as the property of the material to oppose any change in current through the material. The unit of inductance is the Henry. It is denoted by capital H. So the symbol is shown here. Okay, this is the symbol. So it is also inductor does not have the polarity like plus minus like capacitor. It is just like a resistor. But how it will get formed? When the inductor, when a conducting material on that, if you are taking a wire and wounding in a number of turns, then it will form the inductor. So we will see. So how it will behave, what will be the behavior of the inductor? So under the steady state condition, the inductor acts as a short circuit. Means whenever the constant current will flow in the circuit, so inductor acts as a short circuit for the DC current, and for the AC circuit, it will act as a frequency selective device. So when two inductors are connected in series, how to find out the equivalent impedance, equivalent inductance? So it is the just like resistor. So LT is equal to L1 plus L2 plus L3 like this. When two or more inductors are connected parallel to each other, then the equivalent inductance LT is equal to L1 into L2 divided by L1 plus L2 like this. Okay. So the procedure is same as a resistor. So how it will form? So an inductor is a passive electronic component. So passive electronic component which is capable of storing electrical charge in the form of magnetic field. So this is one more point remaining from the capacitor. Capacitor will store the energy in the form of electrical field, whereas the inductor will store the energy in the form of magnetic field. Once again, I will tell. Capacitor will store the energy in the form of electrical field, whereas the inductor will store the energy in the form of magnetic field. Okay, so these two difference you can remember. So inductor, how it will get formed, that is shown here. So it is a semiconducting material, on which the wire is wounded. So it will form the inductor L. When we are passing the current through the coil, then the magnetic field perpendicular to that current direction, according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, it will produce the magnetic field. So according to the direction, the current direction, magnetic field, and the coil, that is shown here. Okay. Now this is about what? The inductor. So next point, Ohm's law. So Ohm's law, I will tell. Anyone knows the Ohm's law? Within one line.
V equal to IR.
Yes. So whenever any law will be there, you can try to understand the concept. Even though the law you don't know, even though you cannot tell the law in a sentence correctly, but at least what it is there. Okay. So what is the Ohm's law? That you can understand. That is V is equal to I. Okay. V is equal to I into R means what? The voltage applied between 2 points is directly proportional to current passing through that point. Okay. But the important word you have to remember in the Ohm's law, that at constant temperature, that is word important, because due to change in temperature, there will be the change in resistance value. If resistance value will change, obviously the voltage across that resistor or current passing through that resistor will change. So always remember, when anyone asks what is the Ohm's law, so always starts from that at constant temperature. At given constant temperature, the current flowing through circuit is directly proportional to applied voltage or potential difference between 2 points. Okay, so here resistor is shown. So voltage across that resistor V is directly proportional to current passing through that, or current is directly proportional to, actually the current is directly proportional to V. This is the Ohm's law, but many times we are taking V is directly proportional to I. Okay, so I is due to what? Due to connection of voltage. That is very important. So V is directly proportional to I we are taking. So V is equal to R into I, where R is called as resistance, that is constant of proportionality. I is the current passing through resistor and V is the voltage drop across resistor. So this is what the Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is the very common thing, common concept we require everywhere in our subject. So without Ohm's law, it is difficult. So Ohm's law you should understand. So Ohm's law is applicable for any component. It may be inductor, it may be capacitor, it may be any value. This is not like this. Ohm's law is applicable for only for resistor. It is applicable for any passive element or any element in the electrical circuit. Everyone understood now? Okay. So this is the formula. V is equal to I into R, where V is the voltage expressed in volt, I is the current expressed in ampere, and R is the resistance expressed in ohm. Now next one, the last point in the today's lecture. So series and parallel circuit. How to identify the series and parallel circuit? So series circuit means what? All components and sources are connected in a one path. All components are connected from end to end, which will form only one path for the current flow through the circuit. Means what? In the series circuit, any component, active element, passive element, energy sources, whatever it may be, so all are connected in only one loop. All are connected in only in one path, so that the same current will flow through all elements. If the current will gets divided, then that is not a series circuit. Current divided झाला तर तो series circuit नाही. If the current is constant through all elements, then we can say that these all elements are connected in series. That is only one thing on which you, based on which you can identify that whether the circuit is series or parallel. So the example of series circuit is in left hand side given. So here the voltage source is there in the left hand side. 3 resistors are there, R1, R2, R3. So according to the polarity of voltage source, this is the plus already given, this is the minus. If not given, you have to identify that longer plate is positive, shorter plate is negative. So according to this, the current I will flow in the circuit. This current I will flow in a clockwise direction. So if you are observing the circuit, same current will flow. This current is also I. This current is also I. This current is also I. So same current is flowing through all these elements. If the same current is flowing through all these elements, the meaning is that this voltage source, this R1, this R2, this R3, all these connected in a series. Okay, so that's why this circuit is called as what? Series. So what is difference here? In the series circuit, the current will be same. The current will be same, but voltage across R1 will be different. Voltage across R2 will be the different, and voltage across R3 will be different if R1 is not equal to R2 is not equal to R3. Okay, the तिन्ही values different असेल तर different value असेल. If R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3, all are the same, that same voltage will drop across all resistors. Okay, that is the different thing. In only you can remember that in series circuit the current is same, the current is constant. Now next, the parallel circuit. In parallel circuit, the branches are connected, the components are connected between the same two sets of electrically common points, creating multiple paths for the current to flow from one end of the battery to the other. So the meaning is that here the power supply or battery is connected, the current will flow up to this point, up to the point number 2 or node number 2. At point number 2, it is having two paths. Some current will flow through this R1 like this, and remaining current will flow through from 2 to 3. Okay, again after the coming at point 3, at point node 3, again it is having two paths. Some current will flow through this R2 and remaining current will flow through this R3. So current will getting divided in the circuit. But the R1, R2, R3 all are exactly parallel to this power supply. R1, R2, R3 and this power supply or voltage source are exactly parallel to each other. Therefore, the voltage across R1, voltage across R2 and voltage across R3 is same. Even though resistance and current value will be different, the voltage remains constant. So in the parallel circuit, the voltage remains constant, whereas the current will be the different value. In series circuit, current will be constant, voltage across any element will be different. So we are solving, we are analyzing the number of networks, number of circuits in which there is a combination of series as well as parallel. Okay, so very interesting whether we have whether the given circuit is series or parallel or combination, or how to analyze that. Very interesting part we are going to learn in this subject. So this is the fundamentals we have covered today. So in the next lecture we are going to start what is the voltage division, what is the current division, then KVL and KCL. These 4 points are very important role in the understanding of entire subject, especially the unit number 1, unit number 3. For that purpose, current division is required. For unit number 4 also current division is required. Then KVL, KCL required anywhere, everywhere. For the especially for unit number 1, we require KVL and KCL. Okay, so don't miss these basic lectures. Everyone has to be present in the each and every lecture. So this is the last point we have covered now. If any questions in the today's lecture, you can ask. कोणाला काही questions आहेत? No one having any questions? Yes or no?
Sir.
Hello, huh? Hello, someone is talking.
No, sir.
Okay, ठीक है, चलो, thank you.